Hi guys,
Hi.
Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk to you about our 5 best and our 5 worst travel moments in all the time we were away.
So we'll run you through 5 of each. We'll do like 1 best and 1 worst. If you can find clips of anything that we're talking about, we'll try and include them just to make the video a bit more interesting than us just sat down talking at you for
It's hard though because in the bad moments the first thing we were doing wasn't to whip a camera out and film it, so that might be a bit hard. There
is lots of footage of the good moments, so yeah, we'll definitely include those for you. So these are not in any type of order or anything, they're just kind of random things, 5 of the best, 5 of the worst moments of our travels.
Yeah.
So here we go. The first worst moment. Our first worst moment would have been probably when we arrived in Coffs Harbour, not knowing what our farm work plans were.
Yeah.
It was not a good time.
We'd read online about this hostel, which kind of had almost like an affiliation with a local farm, a big berry farm nearby. And it was pretty much one of the only leads we'd found for farm work at that point, and so we decided to get the bus down to Coffs Harbour, and we booked in at this hostel. And still to this day, all the time we were away, I think it was probably one of the worst hostels we stayed at. It was really cliquey because quite a lot of the people that were there were already working in the farms, and so the teams that you were putting on the farm, they kind of just stayed together in the hostel, and so any newbies to the hostel that weren't working were just kind of shunned out into the corner kind of thing and ignored, and no one was really bothered. The rooms themselves, it was almost like a motel, if you like, and so the rooms kind of all faced outwards with just one window next to one door, and so as people were walking past you could see in, and so a lot of people closed the curtains, so it just meant we were just in a dark room. Obviously we weren't working at that point, we were waiting to get inducted onto the farm, and so we were just in this dark room most of the time, and then as soon as you go out of the room everyone's just ignoring you or miserable because they're so tired from working, and so yeah.
We spent the week moping around wondering what we were going to do and feeling like we'd been completely trapped, because you hear about these stories of backpackers going and being trapped into working or like paying for accommodation and not getting work, and that's exactly what it felt like. And we just felt hopeless, didn't we? But anyway, it all worked out in the end and we ended up at a really good hostel, but that was definitely a low point of our travels. The uncertainty was not good.
We kind of spent that first week, or the only week that we were at that hostel, just like we had no idea what we were going to do or how it was ever going to get good again, but we pulled through, and yeah, it all got sorted in the end.
So moving on to the next thing, one of our best moments was swimming with dolphins in Coffs Harbour. So after we'd had such a horrible beginning to our time there, it was really good fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, we ended up at a hostel where like free surfboard hire was included in like your stay. All you had to do was leave your passport as kind of a deposit. So we went down to one of the beaches there, and it was starting to kind of get late on, the sun was starting to set, and then just in the wave we just saw this, it was only a small pod, I think it was 3 or 4 dolphins, just came towards us, and we've got that on video. It was one of the only times we took the GoPro down while we were surfing, and you can just hear me in the video, I was like, woohoo! It was so amazing. It really was one of the most memorable times. So shifting back over to a worst moment that we can remember was when we were kind of booking our flights and visa for going to America. So the ESTA that we get was for 90 days. You like apply online, and so we'd worked out all our dates to make sure that we weren't overstaying and that we gave ourselves a 1-day cushion and this, that and the other. But then when we arrived in Hawaii, the customs official said to us that we'd kind of worked it out wrong, and so we were actually going to leave on the 90th day, which they said not to do anyway. So what happens is they count the first day as you're arriving as your first full day, and so we lost a day that way, and so they basically said we had to change our flights, and so we lost so much money on that.
We spent so many weeks just thinking, shall we risk it, shall we not risk it? Like, because if we'd have overstayed, we wouldn't have been able to go to America on an ESTA again, and so it would have made the whole process of going to America for the next 4 years incredibly difficult. And so yeah, we took a long time trying to decide what to do, but we lost so much money on that flight, and we just kick ourselves whenever we think about it now.
Yeah, we booked it through a third-party company in Australia. We're going to do a video at some point about what we found to be the best way to book flights online, so watch out for that.
Yeah.
But basically we booked it through a third-party airline, and so they charged us a booking, like a change fee. The airline charged us a changing fee, and I think the booking went through 2 different airlines, so we got that cost double, and so we basically had to buy the whole ticket again.
Yeah.
That's what it worked out to. We had
Nightmare.
the cost of it was the same as a new ticket. It was absolutely outrageous.
The only good thing I think that came out of that situation was that our accommodation and the cost of the week that we would have stayed extra in Florida was more money than it cost to change the flights. So
yeah, so if we'd have stayed in America, we'd have spent more money than it cost to change the flight. So we almost saved money by having to change flights.
But we'd much rather have had another week to explore and see more of Florida. But yeah, anyway, moving on to a positive. Definitely one of the highlights of my whole trip was going in a helicopter in Kauai over the Nepali coast. It was amazing, and it's something that I've always wanted to do for the longest time, and it was just spectacular. The views were amazing, and I'm sure we'll put some footage up in the background of it, but I just had one of those moments where I was like, am I alive? Is this real? Do I really exist? Like, it was incredible. I don't even think words can even like show how good it was, because it was just outstanding, wasn't it?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
As you can tell, I really enjoyed that experience.
So back to another worst moment. It's like a roller coaster, bringing us up, bringing us down, bringing us up. We managed to get our car stuck on a beach in Australia, quite far, like towards the end of our year there. We'd read about it online, and apparently the sand on this beach was hard enough that basically a two-wheel drive car, normally you need a 4x4, but a two-wheel drive car could apparently drive on this beach.
Should have known better.
Yeah, we went into the tourist information and we asked them all about it, and they said, yeah, no worries, just get on at this particular ramp and then you'll be alright. So that's what we did. But yeah, it didn't work out. No. So we managed to get bogged in the sand, and then we had to pay a local, I think it was $100, wasn't it? Yeah. Just to come and yank us out.
It took him 5 seconds and charged us $100.
So that was the easiest $100 he'll ever make. But yeah, we won't be doing that again. So if you ever go to Robe in South Australia,
don't do it.
Don't on the beach.
No, definitely not. And there's footage of us that morning just so happy, and we were just like chilling and just like driving down the beach, and then like literally 10 minutes later we were just stood going, what have we done? Yeah.
Back to a positive, one of my favourite things at least. And it's a weird one, this, because you can't technically see it.
Yeah.
But to have experienced it was cool. We managed to see the Southern Lights when we were in Tasmania. I had set up a time lapse at night of like the stars to see the stars movement. And just as that time lapse finished, I kind of checked the last couple of pictures on the camera, and I could just see the glow, like in the preview of the picture. So I set another time lapse going, and yeah, so we've got a bit of the Southern Lights.
Amazing.
Footage in camera, so that was pretty cool.
He was so happy when he got back in the car and was like, hey, oh my god, look at his pictures. And we could see it so clearly because it was so dark, and then the next morning we woke up and we're like, wait, what?
Where are they gone? But yeah, that was really cool because we'd read about it, and apparently we were in Tasmania for the complete wrong time of year and whatnot. So yeah, to have captured it was pretty cool.
Awesome.
Pretty unexpected.
The stars in Tasmania were spectacular too. It was so good just being able to see a blanket full of stars across the sky every night. Amazing place. Highly recommend Tasmania. And so moving on to the next worst moment would have probably been our inexperience of different cultures. And so when we arrived in Bali, we were completely overwhelmed, unprepared, and just we didn't know what we were doing. And we hadn't booked any transfers, and so we thought we had it. We thought we were going to be sorted, we were going to get a Bluebird taxi and it was going to be easy. And then Bluebird taxis just don't exist in the airport, and so we just walked around being hassled by this man that wouldn't leave us alone. He was like, you come in my taxi, and like just really pestering us, and we were trying to talk to each other, and he just kept talking over us and like trying to come between us and like herding us somewhere else. And I was just like, oh my god, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? How are we going to get anywhere? And in the end we went with the airport taxi, and I think we got ripped off, but we were just happy to have made it out of the airport by that point.
Yeah, I think it cost us, what, about 200,000 rupees, so about 20 Australian dollars, which is what we were working in at that time, because the exchange rate was really easy, and that's where we just spent the last year. And so yeah, it cost us about 20 Australian dollars, which I think was more than it should have been.
Yeah.
But it got us there in one piece, so that was fine.
It was fine, but it wasn't a good way to begin our time in Bali, but the rest of it made up for it in the end.
I would say. So that brings us on to another best moment, was just all the kind of friendly locals that we did meet in Bali. We met so many people who were just, they're so kind of down to earth and nice.
Say hi.
Even the shop owners, like, as you're walking along, they'll hassle you and whatnot, but if you do actually give them the time of day, if you go in and, you know, look around the shops or talk to them and whatnot, they're really nice people just trying to get by, you know. It must be hard for them just to see all these tourists coming over with, you know, all this money that they can just spend around and whatnot. But yeah, they're just people trying to get by, and so it was nice to actually get to know a few of them.
Yeah, we've made some real lifelong friends there.
Yeah.
Got one man in particular, and we really like him, and he really appreciates us because we helped him out a little bit with his business, and so it's just really nice hearing from him every now and then.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that would be nice, thank you. Our taxi driver for the day is the brother of the guy that took us to Ahmed, and the other day we were invited to the family house, so that's where we are now. So, I'll show you around. Hi Kay.
And I'm sure we'll go and see him when we go back to Bali, but it's just nice to make those connections with people that you never would have done if you'd have never travelled.
Yeah, for sure.
It's amazing. And so another one of our worst moments actually ended up being in Bali again. We'd really wanted to go on a free diving course.
Yeah.
But just before we went on the course, I ended up getting like really bad flu, and I just had the most blocked sinuses ever. And it meant that we couldn't do the course, and we were just both so gutted and just so disappointed that we couldn't go anymore.
Yeah.
But the people were really understanding and really lovely, and we'll definitely go back to Bali one day and we'll do that course because we were so excited to do it, and then it just didn't work out, did it?
But sometimes it's not meant to be, so.
No. I think one of the best things that's happened this year, it's not really a moment, but it's lots of moments, and that is meeting so many amazing people.
Yeah.
We've met so many people from all different corners of the world, and they're just so lovely, and just made long-lasting connections with those people, and that's just more than we could have ever asked for, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And I think that's one of the only things that really we can rank in this whole list.
Sure.
So, like, the number one best thing about this whole experience has just been the people we've met.
Absolutely. Just met some amazing people.
Yeah, it's like we've literally got, although it's maybe not a massive one at the minute, but we've got a network of people that we know all the way around the world now.
Yeah.
I think we just about know someone from every continent in the world, don't we?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's
nice to know that, oh, I can go to this country and see this person. Or just like see different people from all over, and like when people come to England we can invite them to come and see us, and it's just really nice. And yeah, it's just really lovely to just meet people from different backgrounds and with different life experience, and it really helps to build you as a character as well. So yeah, really enjoyed meeting so many people. And yeah, awesome.
It just makes us just, you know, really excited to just go away again and just do it all again and meet more people and stuff like that, you know.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I definitely think it's good to have a balance of the good and the bad times, so that you appreciate the good times even better.
Absolutely. And I mean, a lot of time when people travel, you only really see the good, but a lot of bad happens in between, and the good parts definitely outweigh the bad parts, but the bad parts still happen, and it's important to know that that's a thing.
Yeah.
Because it's really easy to make travel look so shiny and flawless and like you're perfect, but it's definitely not the case.
No.
So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you enjoyed sharing some of our best and worst moments from our time away. I'm sure there'll be many more to come.
So yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, then please give us a thumbs up, it helps us massively, and subscribe if you want to see more. And other than that, we'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.
Bye.